Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? I think everything is closed here. Can you write something in the chat? Because I'm not sure if it works or not. Oh, that's great. Thank you. So, as you know, today we are going to speak about the presentations. Yeah? So, first of all, let me ask you the questions regarding the presentations. Do you have any information about the presentations? Do you know why we need to learn how you're able to give the presentations in different places? Anyway, can you understand me or I'm speaking a little bit fast? Can you hear me? You understand me or not? You can understand. That's great. So, first of all, today I want to ask you some questions. Unfortunately, you are not going to be able to open your audio here to speak with me, but at least you can write everything in the chat. I can understand whatever you say from the chat. I can check it all the time during the presentation. So let me ask the first question. Why do we need to learn the methods of presentations? Do you have any idea? Yes or no? Yes idea, no idea. I see nothing in the chat. To present our presentation perfectly, of course. Something else? Any more idea? What is the meaning of presentation? Bilal, it means giving a speech, talking about a topic. For example, I give you a topic or you're a university student. You have a specific topic regarding your studies, regarding your department. You're going to the university and start speaking about that, like giving 5 pages presentation to your professor. We call it presentation or speech. Yeah, any more idea? Something else? Nothing, I think. So, as you know, presentations are important in different kind of situations. The first situation can be your university. Of course, it is really important based on your major, because in the universities, generally professors ask you to give presentation or a speech regarding a specific topics, and you go to the classes and there are some audiences, for example, 20, 25, 100, 200, 500 people listening to the things that you say. Therefore, we can say that giving presentation or learning presentation methods is really important for students, because without knowing that, sometimes your speech can be so boring for other people. So it is one of the places that you are able to give the presentation that we said, universities or schools. Second of all, it can be in your workplace. As you know, like for example, sometimes they are 15 or 20 co-workers coming together, gather, and they are discussing or talking about something. So sometimes your manager asks you to come and present your ideas about, for example, specific project, about something that you want to mention something regarding to your co-workers. So you need to be able to give presentation about your ideas, about your project, about the things that you want to say to your co-workers. When we are giving the presentation, guys, there are a couple of things that we need to pay close attention to. What those can be? What are those important things that we need to pay attention to when you are giving presentation to other people, to your friends, to your professors, to your co-workers, or for example, we say to public, if you are a politician, economist, or anything else. What are those important things? What can be the important things that people need to know when they are giving their presentation? Any idea? Light Shine says it shouldn't be boring. Of course, it shouldn't be boring, but how can we make our presentation so interesting? Like there should be a couple of things that we need to pay attention to. We must be self-confident. Yeah, self-confidence is important as well. More? Something else? And be a good listener, maybe, of course, because, you know, giving presentation or talking with people is a basic negotiation. So when you speak, you need to wait to listen as well. Speak fluently about our topic. That's right, because, you know, if you are not fluent, if you don't know what you're going to talk about, actually you are not able to speak well. So knowing about the topic, like learning or knowing everything about it is really important. You are right. Like, yes, right. What's that? If we are doing our presentation in English, we need to be capable of speaking English very well. That's right, because you know, those audiences should understand you. And of course, your English should be well if you are speaking in English. So let me just cut the crap and I'm going to, yes, like an example of being a good listener. Yes, I'm going to just cut here and tell you the important things that you need to pay attention to while you're giving your presentation. First of all, let me share my screen with you. And just wait a second, I'm trying to arrange it. And then we can go through it together. Okay. So can you see my presentation, guys? Are you able to see that? Okay, thank you. So first of all, presentation methods. I start with the first thing, which is important. It is be confident and stand firmly, good appearance. As you know, when you are giving the presentation, the basic thing that people are going to look is your appearance. So if you are that type of person who says, I don't care about my appearance, like it doesn't matter what I wear, people should pay attention actually to me and to the things that I say, not to my appearance, you are completely wrong. Because if, for example, you have I can say, really messy appearance, not really attractive, it's kind of hard for you to get the attention of people. Therefore, having a good clothes on when you're going for your presentation is important, because simply you can get all the attention to yourself without just spending any minute or wasting any minute to get the attention of your audiences. What does stand firmly mean? Basically, stand firmly means that you are a presenter. So if someone asks you to present a topic, it means that you're an important person and you have some important things to say. Therefore, you need to stand firmly, be confident while you're speaking. Since if you don't trust in the things that you're saying, if you have some doubts, you're stressed, your audiences are not going to listen to you and they are not going to trust in the things that you say. Therefore, being confident is really important. There are a couple of things that you can increase or improve your confidence with, is like preparing your presentation, have something to just give you some ideas while you're speaking, or a little bit like giving presentation to your family members, to your friends, before starting giving the presentation to people who you are unfamiliar with. And another one is of course, mirror is actually the most simple way. You write for example, writing of your presentation, then stand in front of the mirror and talk to yourself. Try to give the presentation to yourself. So you are going to be confident. You are not going to be stressed when you go for giving your presentation in a conference or, for example, the classroom. The second idea or the tip one is maintain eye contact while you're presenting your presentation and smiling. So why do you think making eye contact with your audiences is something important? Why it is important to make eye contact? Any idea? Because Marvi is writing, to listen to us carefully, to encourage people to talk. Yes, that's all. Something else? We can get focus on us. Okay. More idea? Okay. One of the most important reasons why you need to maintain eye contact with people while you're speaking is making trust. Because when you look at people in their eyes, they can trust you easily. So if they trust you, they are going to trust the things that you say. Therefore, whenever you're speaking, it doesn't matter who you're speaking to. It can be for example, your parents, your sibling, your friends, your audiences, your professors. Always making powerful eye contact can increase the probability of trust. So if they trust you, they listen to you. But if they don't trust you, they don't care about the things you say, they are not going to listen to you at all or pay attention to anything. The second thing can be use your body too, using facial gesture. So as you know, when you are giving presentation, there are some people who look at your face, but by simply looking at the face of the person, understanding the person is really hard. That's why using the facial gesture, like showing for example, surprising motion, or for example, showing the interesting face or smiling when you're saying something positive, or for example, looking sad or mad when you're talking about something actually negative, has really big importance, because people can understand what you say. They can connect to you by your facial gestures, by your body language. Therefore, if you don't use anything, it can be a little bit boring for audiences to listen to you. Marvi said it shows that you are not ignoring them. Yeah, that can be, but at the same time, imagine I sit like that and I talk to you. It can be a little bit boring for you. However, when you use your facial gesture, when, for example, I use my facial gesture, when I use my hands to explain different things like going here, coming here, you talk to me, it can be interesting. You understand me much better. That's why, like, even if you don't understand my language, even if I don't understand your language, simply like kinda, I can understand what you say by your body language. Next one, relax, breathe, and enjoy. Yeah, it is kind of important because basically people giving presentation are really stressed. So you can see that they are stressed. They are actually shattering. It's kind of hard for them to speak. So basically you say that they are amateurs. They don't know what they are going to say. They are not really used to speaking. They are not confident. So you don't trust them. It's important to be relaxed and to believe in yourself while you're speaking. It shows that you are, so nervous. That is true. I've seen those kind of people in my life so much. That's why just be relaxed. Like, no one is going to cut your hair or cut your, for example, body organs if you say something wrong. So it's not really important. You can just be relaxed, say whatever you have in your chamber. Next one, project your voice. What does that mean, guys? Do you have any idea about it? Like, why projecting your voice? Why, for example, having a loud voice or low voice or changing the tone of your voice is important while you're speaking? Any idea? No idea? I should continue or you're gonna continue? For understanding? For understanding, yes, Marva. Actually, we can say it's important for understanding, but rather than that, for grabbing the attention of other people. If a person comes to the presentation, of course, Hatice, I'm gonna speak much slowly. Sorry. Yeah. The important thing about the voice is that sometimes there are some people giving presentation, they speak the entire time in the same voice, like in the same tone, same voice, like blah, 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 and it never changes. It makes the presentation a little bit boring. So in order to get the attention of your audiences, sometimes when you are talking about the details, you need to talk in the lower voice. And when you are talking about so important thing, you are going to a little bit raise your voice. So in that case, your audiences actually are going to pay a lot of attention, like why she's shouting suddenly, right? So it means that she's saying something important, but at the same time, she's going to calm down when she or he is speaking about the details, not important things. So when you change your voice like up and down, up and down, up and down all the time, it makes your presentation a little bit more attractive to listen to, because people are not going, like their ears are not going to be bored of your voice all the time. So it's important, just keep it in your mind while you're speaking about something. Then we come to use the compelling power of pause. What is pause? What does it mean? Pausing in some places. Any idea? Pausing. Light shines, it means stop talking. Yes, but how we need to stop talking for a while, like when we need to do it. Take a breath. That's right. It is true, Marve. Pausing is important, guys, because if I talk non-stop, it's gonna be so hard for audiences to follow the things I say. Therefore, when I'm talking about some specific things, sometimes I need to pause. I need to wait for my audiences to catch up with me, especially when they are taking notes of the things that you're presenting right now. For example, I say, it's really important to do this kind of things. And then I wait. And then I'm gonna continue. Therefore, pausing is important when you are changing the topics. When you are, for example, want to give something so important, you wait a little bit, you pause for a moment, and then you continue. You can improve it by reading books. How you gonna do it? You take up a book and start reading the paragraphs. Whenever you see comma, you're going to have a really smart and short pause. After that, you can see that in your normal speech, actually you can apply pausing rules. Next one, tell your story. Why tell your story is important? Why I need, for example, talk about the things that happened in my life or happened in other people's life. Why I need to do it? Yes, empathy. Well, empathy can be a reason, but the important reason, guys, is showing the connection between your topics and other things. When you think about different things that happened in your life, different information that you memorize, you can understand that you simply can remember the things that other people say only from the common grounds, from the common things that you find with those people. So when you tell the story, you connect people to yourself. You make it interesting for them. Like here, I add sense of humor. Sense of humor, it means you talk about something funny. So those people will become interested in the things you say. When they, for example, recall the things that they learned in your presentation, they are going to recall the story, actually. For example, funny things that you shared, because people can remember or can recall personal information more than general topics. That's why you remember, for example, what the professor's husband job was, but you cannot remember the things that actually that professor taught you before in university, because you are more connected to personal information. So if you want to connect your audiences to the things that you say, find some interesting stories, some funny things about your own life, the things that you've experienced in your life, and share it with them. To learn who I am. Yes, it is true, Bilal. And then we say, involve your audience. What does it mean, involving your audiences? Why we need to involve our audiences, you think? Why we need to involve our audience? What does it mean, involving our audience? Any idea? To be more effective. That's right. That's correct. Involving, because we present them, they need to listen to us. You're right. But I mean, what involving your audience mean? Like how we need to involve or get our audiences to present something in our presentation. Why it is important. Any idea? No. Well, involving your audiences is something important, guys, because people get bored. If you come to here, if you come to my presentation, and I speak the entire time, I speak from, for example, the moment that I started the Zoom till the time that I'm going to finish the Zoom, you will get bored. That's why involving your audiences by asking them some questions, make them be active in your presentation and pay attention. For example, I'm giving the presentation, but at the same time, I ask you questions. For example, I say, what do you think? Like, do you have similar experience? Or have you ever experienced such thing? What did you do last week? Like, I did this kind of things. How about you? So somehow I involve you, I get you in my presentation. And even if you don't want, you are going to pay attention to the things I say. Yes? So you can ask them about their experience. You can mention something about yourself and ask their opinion. Or, for example, you can prepare some questions to ask those people, and they automatically will enjoy your presentation because everyone has some specific things to say. Like if you come to the class, explain something about global warming, if you talk all the time, I will get bored. But if you come to the class, say something and ask me a question, I will share my opinion. And not only I can learn more, but at the same time, I really enjoy the presentation. That's right. We will become more enjoyable. It means that actually, Hati just said, repeat it again. I will repeat it once more for you. Involving your audience, it means give them some part to play, give them some role to play in your presentation. Don't talk all the time on your own. If you go there, if you go to your presentation, talk from the beginning till the end, people get bored because they are just listening to you. They are not active in your presentation. But when you ask for their opinion, when they say something and you listen to them, when you ask them some question and they try to answer, they become more actually active in your presentation and they enjoy their time much better, much more. Well, I had the same experience with one of my mathematics teacher in my high school. When I was a high school student, I had a mathematics teacher who just came to the class and taught us everything and gave us homework and went out of the class. So I literally could learn anything from her because I did nothing in the classes. But at the same time, I had a mathematics tutor. I was going to a private course and the teacher actually came to the class, gave us the topic, like taught us the topic about stoichiometry or anything else. And then she gave us some problems to solve. So everyone was competing to answer the questions faster and go to the board, solve the question. We were kind of involved in the teaching process. That's why whatever I've learned in mathematics was from that teacher, second teacher, because she involved us in teaching and learning process. So I paid a lot of attention to the lecture, to the presentation, because I was involved. Therefore, involving your audience is really important. That's true, Marva. Like, it's really important. When they ask you a question, you try to get connected to your teachers. The lesson will be more interesting for you. That's why questioning and solving will be more important, will be so effective way of education or educating children or peoples. And last but not least is moving. You know that some people actually come to the conferences, they sit all the time, they speak. It's boring, guys. Like, you shouldn't just sit and speak, or for example, stand somewhere and speak about something, because it shows your audience that you are bored, you are not active enough. But when you start a little bit walking, a little bit waiting, a little bit walking, a little bit waiting, your audiences will enjoy your move because they are always watching you moving. I don't mean that you need to run in the classes or in the conference, but I mean you need to a little bit be active, because when you are stable in a place, it makes like looking at you a little bit boring, because I look at the same thing all the time and I get tired. But when a person moves, I look from here to there and then I change my view and it makes it more interesting to look at you. Yeah, that's right. So it was all about the things that I wanted to tell you. I know that I basically explained them in theory, but doing that actually in the classes or practicing them is the most important thing. If you try to apply all the things, all the tips that I told you in your actual presentation, when you are talking to your professor, when you are talking with other people, like 20 people in front of you, you can see a really big change. Like sometimes when you're speaking, people don't want to listen. But when you actually apply all the methods, you can see that people actually become really, really interested in things that you are saying or in the topic that you're presenting, and they enjoy it. They don't want it to be finished. So pay attention to them. And it was all things that I wanted to mention. Now I wait for your ideas. If you want to share any experience, if you have any idea, you can write it in chat and I'm gonna check it from here. Any idea, anything you wanna share? You're welcome. Light Shines, what's your name? Because I think it's not your real name, but I don't understand the name. Light Shines. It's not a name, 100%. Others? Bilal, it's better to say ma'am because I'm female. We generally say thanks, sir. We use it, but we say thanks, sir. to male people, like males, basically. So you can say thanks, ma'am. Oh, thank you, Marve. Actually, I enjoy presenting here also, but sometimes I cannot just catch any lesson because of my busy schedule, but I try to come more often because of you. You're welcome, Hatice. I hope that you could listen to me, because some students say there's voice problem or anything else. I think that you understood everything. I think that it's gonna be helpful for you. Just try to practice it, guys. Like, prepare some topics for yourself and ask your family members to see. Then you can present your topics to them, and you can see that it's really important skill in your life to be able to present perfectly, because otherwise you're gonna suffer so much in your university, in your master, PhD degrees, and maybe in your future job. Therefore, pay attention to that and apply everything. Okay? So that's all for today. I think it's kind of 8:30. You can go and rest if you work or you're a student somewhere. And take care of yourself. Thank you, Marve. Take care of yourself and have a really nice evening, guys. See you and bye.